Hello and welcome back to my channel, cherished viewers. It's your girl here, Jane Holdbrook, and in today's video I'm going to talk about an update, a 6-month update as a newly qualified nurse, how it's been throughout the nursing journey so far. So I just clocked 6 months as a newly qualified nurse. So I'm going to talk about how it's been throughout the 6 months journey as a new nurse. And first of all, whatever I'm going to say here is my own personal experience, what I have seen through the past 6 months. It doesn't mean that's how yours is going to be or that's how it is entirely. It's my own personal experience and what I have seen in the nursing field. So stay tuned. So first of all, I just want to say I'm proud of myself for how far I have come. Being, like a 6-month-old baby nurse, it's not easy. It has its own pros and cons. Like, it's not been easy at all. So I am proud of how far I have come in this career. Yeah, there's so many things I can proudly say I can do now. Like, to start with, when I started my journey as a nurse, it was quite difficult and tough for me because I was part of those nurses who trained during COVID. I did 3 semesters, my final 3 semesters online. It wasn't face-to-face. I never even had graduation. It was held online. Like, nothing face-to-face. So it was quite difficult when it came to the practical aspect of nursing, because in your final year you're expected to do lots of placements and all that, but because there were restrictions according to hospital policies, we couldn't really do much. So it created a little bit of a problem for me. So when I first started out, it was quite challenging for me compared to people who had the full floor to do whatever they could do during placements and internships and all that. It was quite challenging. So I'm very excited that at this point, I can do so many things. Because when I first started, I was afraid. I was scared being left on my own. What if this patient gets a cardiac arrest? What if something happens? Like a situation or a scenario that you probably wouldn't know what to do. Fine, you might have studied it in books. But this is what I want to say. I don't know like how much I can reiterate this enough. Textbook nursing and bedside nursing or being on the field, they are 2 different things altogether. Like, personally, I feel nursing school doesn't prepare us enough to face the real world. That is my own personal feeling. I feel like they just teach you what you're supposed to know. To pass the exam, boards or licensure or whatever. But what you really need to do on the field as a nurse, they don't teach us. So you end up graduating and then coming out to work and you realize that it's entirely different. Like, you just don't know what to do, because fine, you might have the knowledge, the textbook knowledge, but applying it on the field it's somehow, honestly, it is. So like, for people who are newly qualified, I'm not here to scare you or something, but this is the truth. Textbook nursing is different from working on the field. You need to know this before you start working, or else you'll be overwhelmed and you'd be scared. If you have somebody to tell you the truth before you even start working, you would know, okay, what to anticipate and all that. I was shocked when I started working because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want nobody dying on me. I don't want any problems. But that's when teamwork comes in. If you're scared or if you're not sure of something, there is always a much more seasoned nurse to be paired with you. You could ask questions, or you could help, who could help you do things if you can't do procedures and all that. But then, as I said, I feel proud of myself because now I can do so many things. I can do venipuncture, IVs, dressings, NGs, feeds. Basic nursing procedures that I used to see people do. I admire so much. I go like, oh my God, I really want to do this. But now I can do them and it feels great. And I'm still learning. Like, it's 6 months is actually not enough time to say you know everything. I'm still learning every day. every single day I go to work, I learn something new. And in this my 6 months journey, I have cried. Like, only God knows the number of times I have cried, either at work or before I go to work. Because you see, before you start feeling comfortable as a nurse, I mean, when you first start, everything is new to you. You need to now know how things are being done according to your department. You need to start getting yourself, adjust yourself and getting used to it. And getting used to it is not as easy as people think, because everybody has a different way of doing their things. You understand? Maybe you're coming from a different school or different hospital, things are being taught differently. You have to adjust yourself now to learn new things from wherever you are being stationed at the moment. And sometimes people tend to forget that we are new nurses and we are still under preceptorship. They expect a lot from you, maybe some certain procedures or things you can't do. People go like, oh, like, but you're a nurse, you qualify, why can't you do that? This sort of comments and things hurt people, and if you're not strong, you're gonna cry. And aside that, like, sometimes you feel like, oh, there were certain things you could have done in a much more better way, or you could have done it in another way to probably save this patient or something, but it always doesn't go as planned. Sometimes some of these deaths of patients are inevitable. You can't do every medical intervention and they are still gonna go. It hurts you and you cry. You get attached and bond with your patient, especially if the person has been a resident for a longer period on your ward or your unit. You tend to get attached to them, and sometimes when they pass away, it really gets to you. So yeah, I have cried, but it gets better. It's not always like that. When I started, as I spoke, when I started earlier on, within the first 2 to 3 months, I was very, I questioned myself, God, am I in the right career? Am I in the right profession? Do I want to quit? Because it was just too much. But it gets better. One advice I can give is have confidence. If you're confident in yourself, it will make you push to want to do more things. And the more you do, the more you get to know. Sometimes when you go to work and they are sharing the base, you know, after handover, we share the base, one nurse to a bay or whatever, every facility and how they do it. But in my trust, it's one nurse to a bay with a healthcare assistant. So sometimes, despite the fact you are new and you are barely even under 6 months, they give you probably the toughest bay, the bay with the heaviest bay, I would say. And people will grant, maybe I don't want it, this, that. I mean, I will take it. It serves as a way of learning, you know. If you always get the easiest patient, you would think, okay, that's how it is. And the day when you're going to get a patient who's very critically ill, you wouldn't know what to do. So sometimes, I mean, like, it might come across as challenging and not fair to you because you are still new. But I don't mind if you give me the most sickest patients or heaviest bay or whatever. I don't mind. If I don't know, I would come ask you, the charge nurse. I don't know, there's something wrong with this patient. Can you help me? Or what do I do? But then it's still as a way of learning. So that's just it about about the learning aspect. I have really learned a lot in this past 6 months, and it's been amazing. And there are days when I feel like I want to leave nursing entirely. Like, I don't like this profession anymore because of so many things, negativities and all that. But then you just think about it and go like, I love seeing my patients going home. It's, as I said, sometimes you bond with patients, they've been there for months, weeks, and when they're finally going home or to a care home or something, they thank you so much. Their family come together, thank the nurses, thank you so much for what you've done for my daddy, my mommy, my granddad, or whatever. And it's good. I mean, you feel good knowing that despite your little things you do, you might think, oh, I don't really do much because I'm not a seasoned nurse, but whatever little things you are doing, you're still taking care of somebody. You are nursing somebody to get better. And those are what I look back on days when I feel very down and very sad that I don't think nursing is for me anymore. I just cast my mind back to helping, days when I have helped people get better. And He gets so happy. They go like, oh, my mommy spoke about you. She said you take very good care of her. Thank you so much. Those words alone can mean a lot to me. So yeah, like it's 50-50. So I won't say it's entirely rosy. It hasn't been entirely rosy, and I wouldn't say it has been entirely bad too, but it's just been okay. Yeah. And so for me, on days when I'm having a very bad day or a bad shift, or somebody has been mean to me or something, I say to myself, nobody was born a Florence Nightingale. You just didn't wake up and you started to know everything about nursing, you know everything and all that. It takes time. This is what people don't understand. You don't get up and you become a great nurse or an experienced nurse all of a sudden. It takes time. You need to give yourself the time and the patience, and you will definitely get there. There are some procedures I can do now. I never thought I could do them. I would admire people, see people do it. I would say, oh my God, when can I also do this? But now I can do them, and I can do them correctly without any mistakes. So you should give yourself time. Don't let people's bad words or comments get to you, because I know there are lots of bullies in nursing. I mean, like, nursing is a field whereby they say nurses it's their young. To some extent, it is true. Some people are not nice. They are mean and all that. But I mean, like, as I said earlier on, nobody was born a Florence Nightingale. Those people who are experienced and who are being mean to you, they were also a baby nurse once like you, and they learned. That is why they know what they know today. So, like, sometimes you just have to calm down and everything, and everything's gonna be fine. You're going to know what you need to know, like what you deserve to know. So I have a couple of people who have asked me how burnt out feels like. It feels like being a nurse getting burnt out. It's not a nice experience. It is not something you would want to experience. In my 6 months as a nurse, I have experienced burnt out, and there are days when I don't even want to go back to the facility. I don't even want to set my eyes on it, because you are too stressed out, you are tired, your body hurts, and I mean, like, certain situations just don't make you want you to go back again. But I mean, as I said, we are still learning, and it's quite difficult at this point in the life of every nurse, because there is nurse shortages all over the world. Everywhere is experiencing that. So sometimes you have to take on the job of 2 people. That's why you're one person. You're doing the job of 2 people or 3 people. And by the time you get back home, you ask yourself, do I really want to do this? I mean, like, you are tired, and the next morning you need to go back again, or the next night. What I'm going to say to sum it up all for my experience as a newly qualified nurse for 6 months is that have confidence. Yes, if you are laid back and you are scared and all that, I mean, initially when I started, that was how it was. I was laid back because I was scared. I didn't want to do anything to harm anybody and all that. But if you have that confidence to want to do it, you would know. And once you know, it's your knowledge, it's your skill. Nobody can take that away from you. You understand? You have it. And then you keep on improving on it and getting to know other things as well. So, like, yeah, I feel you just need to get out of your shell, out of being laid back and reserved and all that, and get to know your skills. And once you learn your nursing skills, this is not something somebody can take away from you. Wherever trust or hospital or wherever you transfer or decide to move to, they are yours, and they're going to help you in securing a job wherever else you want to go or do. So I think you should have confidence. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing too is, don't compare yourself to people. I, for one, have never compared myself to people that, oh, maybe we are all newly. Where the unit I work in, there are lots of newly qualified nurses in there, but you can't say, oh, maybe because A is doing this, I can't do it. A is better than me. Or maybe they are praising B, and maybe you can't do this. I'm here to learn and study at my own pace, like, get to know things on my own page. Don't compare yourself to other people. If you do that, you would cry every day, because you would feel like, oh, they don't like you. They are probably praising other people and nobody sees anything good in you. You know yourself and you know what you can do. So you stick to yourself. Don't try, in as much as I said, you need to have confidence. Don't try to overstep your boundaries too much and do things you have not been trained to do. No. So you try and go at your own pace, but not too slow too. I mean, you're just in between there. Then you're going to get there gradually. So don't compare yourselves to people that, okay, everybody has how they learn and whatever background they're coming from and the sort of things they have done back in their nursing school. It's different for everybody. So don't compare yourself to people. And I believe you're going to be entirely fine. So like, it's not been entirely sweet and it's not been bad. My experience has just been a mixed one. Yeah, but I would say it gets better. Yes, I don't cry any longer. No, now I don't. I mean, like, yeah, sometimes you have pre-anxiety shifts and all that, but I mean, it's not something that's going to make me cry. You just have to learn how to manage your time and how to build relationships with people, how to communicate with them, know what to say and what not to say. And I believe you'll be okay. I mean, like, you don't need to be best friends with everybody on your unit, but if it's something that regards your patients or regards the benefits of a patient or something, yeah, but you don't need to be like besties with everybody. You just go to work, be nice to people, be cordial, be polite to everybody that comes your way, respect family members and respect patients and give them dignity and all that. And I mean, like, you don't have any problems, you are good to go. So you just need to make sure that in your first year as a nurse, you do all your trainings, you get signed off for what you can get signed off, you take your preceptorship seriously, and you're going to be just fine. You'll be fine. So yeah, that is an update about how life has been in the past 6 months. It's been great. I can't complain. It's just okay. Yeah, so catch you in my next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, this is your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.